record it on a video. Oh.
Smile.
They're gonna do both.
Okay, yeah, get out of here, please.
Please record.
Thanks for throwing me under the bus.
That stuff can go on.
Well, it's great that you guys come from a golf family.
We do, absolutely. Yeah, we've got, my dad was a pro, still, well, I guess he retired, but he's still my dad, and then we've got a little sister who played on the LPGA, and then my kids all play. My wife was a state am champ 11 times, so my father-in-law was, so you can always find a game in our family. It's pretty cool.
Wow. Christmas time you're playing golf?
In the blood.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
my family doesn't really play golf. My immediate family.
Yeah, we're all spread out across. I live in Mississippi, he lives in Vegas, and then my sister lives down in Palm Beach Gardens or Jupiter, so we are pretty spread out. Our parents are in Indiana, so we don't quite get together for Christmas like we used to, but we stay in touch. But when we do get together in the summertime, we usually
we had a good match last summer.
Wow, who wins out of that group?
Well, the teams were stacked. It was very unfair.
It was very
unfair.
I didn't like it that my sister was on the team.
Yeah, he had my sister.
We were stacked.
Our sister with him.
But we had two little 3-year-olds too, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. So we had them.
Wasn't fair. Calling foul. But no, it was fun. We had our parents had their 50th anniversary, so we had everybody come back to Indiana. It was a good time. But it's neat to be. We were named Golf Family of the Year, 1990, National Golf Family of the Year, which is a great award. Especially now that I have kids playing, I understand the pride my parents have. I never really had forced my kids to play. I just wanted them to be able to play and enjoy it. And my oldest is playing at Mississippi State on the golf team, ladies golf team. So she actually won the state am last year, and didn't really start playing competitive golf until she was 16. But she likes it. I don't know if she loves it so much, but my 14-year-old daughter loves it, and my son he's pretty good. You know, he likes it. He's got a lot of talent, and he'll be a really good player as he gets older. He gives up basketball. He's 5'9". I don't see a future in basketball for that. He does. You know, he's being 16 or 17. He loves that. So, and my youngest, no desire to play. So that's the only thing. We have a good time, that's for sure.
It's cool. Family of athletes.
I don't know if we're athletes or not. My kids are athletes.
Yeah, kids are athletes. We're broken down at it.
Yeah.
So you're both playing golf?
No.
He's going to caddy for me this week, so it's been good to have him out there. So he's not going to play any this week, but probably for a few weeks. He's going to come out caddy a little bit.
I told him whenever I do get into play. So.
What a great caddy.
Yeah.
So you want to ask
Yeah, so growing up, how were your parents a positive impact in your life?
They were real supportive. My mom since we were little, she took us to all the junior tournaments. My dad was a club pro, so he didn't always have the opportunity to take us. But, he'd stop what he was doing and give us lessons or whatever. But we were always there. It was cool because, a lot of times growing up, we were able to go to Dad's work, so we were always able to spend time with him, which was neat. And where a lot of kids don't see their dad until 5 or 6 at night, we were able to do things together. Unfortunately, we all loved him. So.
Yeah, and then as professionals, they follow us everywhere we play, basically. They'll try to come see us play every occasion they get to, when it's close by. So
I just think they were always there for support. Never really forced us to play. And in this game, to really be good, you got to love it. And it's hard to, you can't force. And that's the thing. I think tennis sometimes with kids now is golf's almost turned into what tennis was. The parents are so involved in trying to get them a scholarship.
Helicopter parents.
Absolutely. And I've tried not to be one of those parents. And you want to encourage them, but you don't want to make it where you want them to still love you. Because if you force them too much, they'll get to the point where not only will they hate what you're trying to shove down their throat, they may not like you. And that'd be the last thing you want to do. And I see that a couple of times with a buddy of ours, and he saw it, and he said, I see what you're saying now. So, we never really had that growing up, and we tried to pass that on. At least I have, and I'm sure Jeff does with his girls, the same thing. So.
Why do you think it works so well with your family, the sport of golf? I mean, you guys seem to get along well, obviously.
Yeah, we didn't get along as much as when we were young.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, behind closed doors.
We grew up with it. We lived on the course, and we lived in a small town
Such
in
a big
Indiana.
part of your life.
Yeah, well, we didn't have anything else. We were all together. I mean, we lived at the golf course, and the golf course was not in town, so we didn't have any neighbor kids to play with. So it was us, and we played basketball in the winter in Indiana because you couldn't play any golf. But if you could see grass, we went out and played. But we just had a love for it, and like I said, you either have that love to become good, but it's something we can do together as a family. That's the neat thing. I spend most of my time, before I start playing out here the last couple of weeks, is playing with the kids. I mean, that's who I played a lot of golf with, just to enjoy some time with them. And can't pass up those precious moments. That's for sure.
That's the hard part about being out here. Sometimes you don't get to see some of their stuff that they're doing. So.
And I did for 10 years. I quit playing competitive for 10 years. I was regular tour playing. I play a few weeks, but I was able to watch them do a lot of stuff and still am. And then to come back and play out here on the Champions Tour, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge playing a few more weeks than I have, but I got to see them do a lot of stuff, and a lot of guys miss a lot of that, so I'm fortunate with that. I wouldn't trade the last 10 years at home, being able to watch them grow up. And I've enjoyed watching them play sports, or just just being with them and watching them grow up and being part of their life, because I didn't want my kids to wake up one day and say, well, Jim Gallagher's my dad, but I'm not quite sure who he is, and that happens, I think. If you do something like this long, you lose touch with your kids, because I think it's important just to be a huge part of their life, and we take them everywhere we go. And I think that's, our parents did the same thing. I think that's big, because we didn't just shove $20 and say, here, go have fun. You're coming with us. So I think that was a big part of it.
Do you take off like for a certain time of year?
Yeah, I mean, probably the November through. When I was playing full time, I took November, December off. I didn't play at all. I just hunted.
So you spent time with the family?
Yeah, we had basketball season, so we were going 3 days a week to games.
So other than that, you're traveling most of the time?
Most of the time. And I did TV for about 4 years. But the good thing about that, I could leave on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and I was home on actually Fridays or Saturdays. So I wasn't gone a lot. I was still able to see a lot of the stuff that, even though I did that, I did that from 2002 to 6. I was still able to be part of their life. And that was a big reason when I did it. I was only going to work 15 or 18 weeks. I didn't want to work for 30 weeks. I wanted to be out and still be part of their lives. So that's a cool part.
What advice do you give the young up-and-coming golfers? Both of you.
Yeah, well, do it because you love it. Yeah. I mean, that's the main thing. I mean, you're going to have to work hard. There's so many good players. And
It takes a lot of dedication.
It does. It does. And I hate to use the word sacrifice, but that's part of it. But I mean, it's no different in anything you want to be successful in. You get out of it what you put into it. And there's going to be struggles along the way. It's not going to be always great. But just play it because you love it. And you don't have to be a professional to love this game. That's the beauty of it. You got to set some goals, and whether it's to break 100 for the first time or 90 or whatever it is. And I think that's the thing for kids, is just to get out there and don't take them to a teacher. Don't go to a teacher necessarily so early where they can't pay attention. Until they're about 13, 14, or 15 can they really grasp everything that the teachers are trying to tell them. So the main thing is do it because you love it.
My question that I ask everybody part of the magazine is, who positively impacted your life?
Without a doubt, that'd be both my parents. I mean, it was strange because my mom actually, I don't know so much with you, but she actually taught us to play while Dad was working a lot of times. And she spent the time with us early on in those early years. We were 5 and 6 and did junior golf. I mean, Dad was there, but she was a huge part of that. So, both of them, for me, were the biggest influences. I wouldn't say anybody else. There were other people along the way that helped, but those two were the biggest. And they always set a standard. I mean, they were a happily married couple, like I said, for 50 years. So they set a standard not only just for golf, but just in life that you wanted to live by. So, I've tried to pass that on with my life and our marriage. And I've got a great wife that has supported me. And I think that's the success for successful guys out here, is who has a great wife behind them. Because you couldn't do this without that, because they're the bloodline and the heart. And that's not, that's the truth. That's the bottom line.
You might be able to, but it definitely helps, because when you're on the road 30 weeks and you're raising kids.
Yeah, and it is hard, because it takes a special person to do that. I mean, we always kid about your kids are our kids. When they're good, they're my kids, but when they're bad, they're your kids. But my wife did a great job. But I was home a lot these last 10 years, and Jeff spends a lot of time. He's a good dad, so that's your legacy you pass on, is your kids, and you want them to. Because the world's tough. I wouldn't want to be a kid growing up. It's awful hard out there, the things that you're exposed to. And we live in a small town, so we're still able to kind of keep a sense of life. Sometimes you get lost in the moment out here in the big world, so we just try to keep that as small as we can. So. All right, girls. All right.
Thank you. Good luck.
Okay, thanks.